Hi there, guys. So I am demoing this painting. Let's see. There we go. So hi everyone. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hi Beth. Hi Layla. So glad to see you. Nancy, Pierre, Botha, Mrs. Nez. Thank you, Florina. So I am presenting the demo. I'm continuing on the demo that I started this morning for my master copy class that I'm teaching through the Art League of Alexandria, Virginia. It's an online class, and and we just started this new setup, and I'm really excited about it. It is inspired by, oops, sorry guys for knocking the phone. It's inspired by a Cezanne painting, and because that's what we're copying. We've been learning all about Cezanne this term, and for the first 4 weeks we copied Cezanne's work, and we're learning from that. And now we are working on like our own setup, and this allows for some really good exploration. So that's kind of what we're doing. I have been so that's what I demonstrated this morning, kind of the block in, and I was just in the process of going back and re-outlining stuff, because that's what Cezanne did to create when he would create form. Thank you. I'm glad you like the color. Yeah, so I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna get started. I really am enjoying working on this guy. So let's see. There we go. Lots of fun. So we're going to be I'm going to be working on I had just started to go back into some areas and like re-establish some outlines, and because when you paint like Cezanne did with his colorist methodology, sometimes when you're so focused on color, you actually lose the sense of form, and so then that requires you to actually go back and actually add outlines to the boundaries of your objects, so that way the form, the sense of the objects isn't lost 100%. So so that's kind of what happened, and so and while I was painting this, I must admit I kind of forgot that I was trying to copy Cezanne, and I went back into my typical way of creating and always thinking about form. And in fact, this picture, I had tried to kind of have it at a tilt, a cant, that similar to how like Cezanne often had his paintings. But while I was painting it, it went back to being straight up and down. So sometimes you just can't get around your own personal bias, I guess. But so I am working on laying in paint. So I'm gonna put in, so Cezanne loved his blue outlines. So I'm gonna do that. This is a lemon. this apple right here. And that apple is in front of, and then like, I need to actually probably work on making that apple look more round. I kind of made it a bit blocky, but for the initial lay-in, it's fine, but I know I'll want to do that later. So, and let's see. So there's that white, that outline. And then this is an edge of a table. Edge of a table. So Cezanne worked in lots and lots of layers. So some of this painting, when I started this painting, I was using thinned down OMS, but it's still wet, and I'm going to just kind of use some of the another layer of paint, but this top layer on top of my wet OMS layer is going to just be kind of straight from the tube to get a little bit more coverage. And this edge of this plate is actually white. I'm going to try to get that in a bit. Need to reinforce that. And then there's a little bit of probably light, but then there's like shadow is set. So that's probably lighter. So I'm going to get that in. And I'm painting wet and wet, so you can see how I'm picking up paint from below because my white brush is now darker. I'm picking up that, but that's okay. That's fine. I just have to make sure I clean between every brush stroke. But I can do that. So I just wipe my brush down between every brush stroke. Okay, and so then okay, so I want to get a couple of so I've got some, I'm going to get, this needs to be a little bit brighter, so I'm going to do that. So today is for those, we've got a lot of new people that just joined, so thank you guys. This is I'm doing a demonstration for my Art League class. Every Tuesday we meet, and in the fall term, winter term, and spring term, we paint still life. We start off with analyzing a specific artist or genre of still life, and then we do master copies, and then we move on and create a modern interpretation using those skills and techniques that we've just learned from copying from the masters. And it's a super fun class. It's just well, it's a fun process too, just like pushing yourself and like seeing what you can accomplish with, and like, you know, how can you like learn from the experience, because you always learn from by copying, by taking, you know, like, and then the goal is also then to take that information you've just learned and apply it to your own work, and that's where the gold is, in my opinion. Okay, so I need to work on that guy and the outlines of him. So I've got this wonderful dark blue stripe right there that I'm going to put in, and then I'm going to do another stripe there. And this morning in class, we were talking about Cezanne, like, you know, like what makes Cezanne's work so good and so interesting. And like, because Cezanne's work is essentially, if it wasn't for Cezanne, we wouldn't have had Cubism. The way Cezanne looked at the world and interpreted the world with his paintings is essentially a proto Cubism. And so essentially that and so like, but you know, what makes Cezanne's work so universally liked, and I think a lot of it has to do with the process he used, and he also used beautiful colors. He used colors that are just so striking and so beautiful, and yeah, I love it. I feel very fortunate that yeah, I feel very lucky, and I appreciate that opportunity. So yeah, so it's good, and I feel fortunate, and to be able to paint this, and with my students to explore Cezanne's work in a way that maybe I wouldn't regularly, but in a classroom environment, I can turn it into the subject, and then we can have some really fun with it. So yeah, so I have been having a really fun time working on this. So okay, so I've been fiddling with kind of like getting this up to a certain level. I want to, I need to probably make this guy more that poor apple does not look three-dimensional at all. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on him, I think. So what do I need to do? So my photo reference, I do want to add a little bit more blue outline. My photo reference is doesn't like tell the whole story, because I have I've kind of canted my bowl a little bit to make it more interesting. Okay, but I think that's, but I know what I need to do, I think. So I'll get started. So the beauty of, let's get that. Yeah. So one of the things about Cezanne had a quote of about modeling, and that it's more like he used the term modeling as the term for like that creating form, creating three-dimensional form, and he called it's more modulating because it's the idea of you're shifting your colors as the form turns in the painting, and I agree with him. That's pretty good. So I'm using mixtures of cad red. This is pure cad red. That needs to get darker probably. And then I have cad red and cad orange mixed together, which is so nice. I think this is a little bit higher up, so. And then there's, yeah, my shapes are a little bit off. But as a whole, still pretty wonderful. Because it's a gift to be able to paint every day. Okay, so there we go. There's some. And then there's like these shadow shapes. I'm gonna want to get that. And okay, and then I need to use I love painting wet and wet, and that's one of the things that Cezanne, he blended color so brightly, so with such intention that it's a wonderful thing. And how he, oops, shakes. The way he did create. So there's like that reflected light. And then I'm going to assume that a bit too. So and so there's these wonderful bright color notes. That needs to be, I think, lighter. Yeah, so I'm having lots of fun with this and just kind of trying to make the shapes look good. And then there's a little bit of lightness here, but lighter, but okay, so I'm still like making things work out. You see that there's areas that I need to add more. So I'm going to lighten that. When when you're dealing with something with as colorful as this, it is important to be squinting your eyes all the time, or else you can very quickly lose the sense of shape, the form of what you're trying to paint. And so with my work, I keep squinting at my reference, and I'm trying to make sure that things are working out the way I want them to. And yeah, oops, and I just got my finger smudged into a bunch of paint. I hate that when I accidentally do that. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put a little bit of green in. LLS, I don't know if, he definitely sometimes he did a better job than other times, is my thought. LLS, about making it realistic. But what I do think what he did was he always was paying attention to the colors that he saw in the fruit. And so that's something that right now I'm striving to do, is I'm looking at my photo reference, and I'm really trying to notice the nuances and the shifts, and where the color might turn more green, or where it might turn more red or pink, and really honor those shifts in color temperature, because I think that's where his work sings, is the fact that the shapes are very simple, and he definitely abstracted his shapes a lot, but when it came to the interpretation of the color, that's when he became most expressive in his work. And I love that. So that's what I'm that's kind of what my focus is right now. I'm trying to get things to that point of expression right now. So that's kind of where I'm at. Let's see, and then slider in value. So my reds, I need to pull out more CAD red. There's my CAD red, good. Got a big tube of CAD red this year, because it's not easily available, and I don't want to run out of CAD red. I use it so much. Okay. So I am just having a good old time. That jug is lovely. Thank you. Yeah, that is a really lovely. It's turning out well, and And it also has emotional value to me because one of my dearest friends brought it back from Spain for me when she was traveling in Spain. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. And so it shows up every so often in one of my paintings because I love it so much. And I feel so lucky to have it to paint. So, okay. Okay, so I'm slowly working on this guy. I want to make it just a little bit, feel a little bit rounder. I thought y'all could hear me earlier, but if not, let me know. It's also, I haven't been talking so much. I'm a little bit quiet today, more quiet than I usually am when I'm painting. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay. So maybe it was me just being quiet or mumbling because I haven't been, I've noticed that today. Today I've been a little bit more quiet while I've been painting, just because. So I want to create, I want to make this feel round. And so I'm doing, I'm making things seem a little bit rounder. Oops. And trying to, come up with pinks then like reds that support that idea of the roundness of this object, these objects that I'm painting. And then I haven't painted that back guy. Are those highlights white or cream? The highlights are kind of got a bit of yellow in them. So I never use a straight white in my paintings. So I'm always adding a little bit of color. Even my highlights will not be a straight white. They will, I look for a color that will give that highlight extra interest. So yeah, you'll never see a true highlight like in my white. You'll never see a white highlight. Even if it is whitish, it still probably will have like a blue or an orange or a yellow or a green, depending on like what's going on in the light. So I'm having lots of fun with this piece, even though, see, and then that's a bit in shadow, so I need to make that deeper. And then the lemon in the foreground. Get that green in. You know, that's one of the things I absolutely love about apples, is that they have so many colors in them. I love how the apples will shift in tonality. And, you know, we'll go from like a dark green to a yellow, pale yellow green, especially at this, like where the core, where, you know, the stem and the core is. That's one of my favorite things about apples, is how colorful they are, and how the colors that modulate, these modulations of color. That's probably why Cezanne spent so much time painting apples, is because they were just so fun to paint. So that's so fun. I could lap that up all day long, the variety of my apples. So you got oranges too. I mean, it's like apples are like a it's like a candy field, so to speak. Candy shop, not candy field. But there's so much to do with them, and I just love apples for that reason. Okay, so and then there's this, the bottom of that. There we go. Okay, yeah. So I'm just, you know, making my way around this painting and trying to create something that's interesting. Okay, so I need a pack. I want to, oops. And then I've got, probably that's cast shadow, so I need to get that in. That. Let's see. My lemon, there's more pale yellow right there. So we'll get that in. Okay, so now, what time is it? Oh, I'm doing really good on time. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I want to build up a little bit of the table layer back here. This has gotten a little bit thin. I'm going to get that, lay that down with a little bit thicker. And then there's a spot where it's a little bit lighter. So I can put that here some. And then shadow shape. cast shadow from the picture. Let's see, what size is your canvas? What size is your brush? Well, I'm using right now a number 3 extra long filbert from Trekell, and my canvas size is like about, it's like a 15. It's a little bit bigger than a 12 by 16. So it's about that ratio. And so, yeah, so I need to, what I want to do is I think I'm doing really good on time. This is amazing. I'm trying to decide what to do. I think I actually just need to, because Cezanne worked in areas and spread out. So essentially I need to now start spreading out into this area. And I am trying to emulate him. I'm not doing always the greatest, because I actually start to lose track that I'm copying Cezanne, and then I start painting like the way I like to paint. But you know, for this class, the goal for this class is to really get outside of your own painting methodology, and to try to really emulate Cezanne. So that's, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm not always successful at it, but that's okay. You know, you don't always have, you know, it's part of the growing process. So I'm gonna get that shadow shape in, and then there's like a shadow shape here, and then let's see. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am in the process of, I think I might actually have to go to a bigger brush too, but I want to I've lost this. So I'm trying to, right there, that's a line. So I'm going through and painting, and I'm starting off each, you know, each bit of my painting, I'm starting off with paint that's been thinned down with odorless mineral spirits, because that's how Cezanne worked. So like all of that area was first had a layer of paint that's like so thin it's almost like watercolor. Some of his paintings really start runny, and then you know, as the painting progresses, then you're building up with thicker paint. So I'm starting to do that. Let's see. I really do need to get to a bigger brush. Yep. I'm switching to a bigger brush. So I'm going to a number 6. I think that will behoove me more with what I'm trying to do. So let's get that. Let's see. And then there's, so I'm trying to get that, and then there's that line. And then there's like something there. And let's see, and then there's a really dark spot right there. And then more blue. So it starts off. Yep. It needs to go a little bit darker, but probably fine for now. Yeah. So there's like a spot right there. I'll get that. And there's that. Okay. So I've done, and I think I've got enough here. So now I can start working on. Let's get the lemons in. So, like where there's shadow, going darker. Okay, where are we? We're doing, wow, I'm doing great on time. Okay, got a little bit of shadow there too, so I'll do shadow. And then I need to get like brighter, cleaner yellow. Then I want to get that's a bit too bright, I think, but it's good. I can make it work. Probably made it, yep, I made it a bit too bright, but that's okay. I'm gonna get, and I picked up some of that ultramarine blue. That's okay. Cezanne was always picking up colors, so that's okay. Yeah. So I'm trying to get that shadow shape in to give that sense of three-dimensionality to these lemons. It's doing pretty good. So I can't get over how fast this is going. Okay, so now I want to get some white down. So like, you know, I need to get a little bit of white. Well, not a little. I need to pay attention to my whites. But my whites are going to get, you know, as I pick up paint, they're going to get inundated. But that's okay. I can make that work on my behalf. Okay. And then I pick up, because it's all wet, but that actually is in my favor. And then this is not as light as what's going on above there, so I can do that. And then there's like other areas. Yep. Nice. Okay. So yeah, so it's coming together. There's other areas that can be heightened, but for, I can't complain. And I'm just going to keep at it. That's kind of all you can do when you're painting. You just, you find places and you incrementally find places where you can make improvements. That's that is what art is. You find areas that you like, that are going well. You look at them and think, okay, well, what is it about that part that's doing well? And then when you find it, you try to replicate. It's like, well, what can I do to do that again, to make that work again for me? And that's what I'm doing here. I'm like going around, and I'm finding areas that need a little bit more attention, and then I'm laying down paint and working my way around and through. Do that. And I'm really like this. I'm working on this linen. It's a landscape linen, so it's got a little bit of texture to it. Actually, it's and I'm really loving how it's also taking paint. So even your paint surface will impact your painting. Like the painting surface that you use is actually an exceptionally influential aspect of your painting. Okay. This is really light, so let's get that. Whoops, picked up a little bit of yellow. That's okay. This needs to go like that. Yeah. Whoa. I am surprised by how fast this is going today. So okay, I can't get over this, and I'm getting close to the end, guys. So thank you so much for being here today. If you're interested in my classes, I would encourage you to go to my profile and my link and sign up for my newsletters. If you when you sign up, you have the option to sign up for my studio news, which is where you'll get to see about like my latest paintings, any exhibitions I've got going on, like where my paintings are being held. But I also have I write on my blog, and I also write a teaching newsletter where those have helpful links. I send out my blog. It's not that often, so like once a month at most. I hope to get it up higher, but once a month. And then my teaching newsletter does go out once a week, and I try to always have helpful hints and talk about what's my upcoming shows are and everything. So if you like this and are interested in what I teach and what I have available to help you out, help you become a better artist, go to my website and sign up for a newsletter. Thank you so much, guys, for being here, and I really appreciate the opportunity to paint for you today. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.